Hello Bannerlord enthusiasts, welcome back on this fine new day, for it is fine as we have received something new related to Bannerlord. Hitler's rant must have made a difference. This info leak is but a mere days old, and thus I wanted to create my video a day earlier than I would have otherwise, to get it out as soon as possible to everyone. Anyways, without further delay, let us get into the news. The leak, to which the link for is in the description, was uploaded anonymously to Imgur and is a total of 5 pictures of a PC Gamer article in their upcoming April issue. Bannerlord is seen as the cover image for the magazine as well as has the feature article on it. This is the beginning of a new hype train and likely foreshadows a summer or fall release, especially considering that the team admits it themselves. As a quote from the article says, it explains why Bannerlord has been taking so long in the making. We are trying to make the best game we possibly can, says Ali Erkin, Tailworld's managing director, and this unfortunately has meant going back to the design board in certain cases, rethinking certain features, or rewriting a piece of code that doesn't perform as well as it should. By way of an example, Erkin reveals that the character development system has been reworked 3 times from scratch. When all is done and we see a system working really well, we feel that it was worth the extra time and effort, Erkin continues. While we missed our 2016 target, we are confident we'll be able to get the game out in some form this year. This is extremely exciting for myself personally, and I'm truly ecstatic for what is to come. According to this article and an interview with the managing director, we have a very good chance of being able to play Bannerlord this year in 2017. With the words some form, that may either be a beta or fully fledged release. As much as I want to get my hands on this game as soon as possible, I honestly would prefer a full release, as I want to be able to play a complete, bug-free, polished game from day one, and I want to see the Steam store page reviews as overwhelmingly positive from day one. This information is not overwhelming, but I think is a taste of what is to come. Frank Elliott, also known as Captain Lust, who is the Tailworld's community manager from Out and Blade, said in a tweet a few days ago that we would receive some form of info this month in March. Considering this magazine article was scheduled for the April issue of PC Gamer, and considering that it was a leak and not directly from Tailworlds, I imagine we will still receive more info in the coming weeks. The article is of a PC Gamer reporter telling the story of the Tailworld community manager Frank Elliott playing through a full hour of a new campaign in Bannerlord. And no, this is not from the PC Gamer Weekender news close to a year ago, this is brand new, which I expect we will see the footage of this gameplay later this month or in April. There are quotes from various Tailworlds members. The CEO, Armageddon Yavuz, says, Bannerlord's skill system builds upon what we had in Warband, but it is vastly improved and in many ways much deeper and more fun. We have traits, skills, and perks that work together in an interesting and unique way. Each skill has its own kind of XP category and is exercised individually. For example, you improve the tracking skill by finding older and more difficult to find tracks. This is fantastic info in itself. We haven't seen any showcase of the skills to my knowledge, and I am excited to see what there will be. The possibilities are endless, and it will be truly fascinating to see what each action there will be to level up for each skill, rather than the current spending of skill points that we have in Warband. Next, we find out that NPCs can be accessed through the town menu by teleporting you instantly, or you can still physically walk to the location as we do in Warband for lack of any other option. We also learn that the recruitment system has changed. Now, you receive troops from important NPCs, likely lords or prominent fellows in towns, saying that the better your relationship with that person, the more soldiers you'll receive for your gold. This is showcased in the article after a quest is completed, doubling the amount of recruited soldiers for the same amount of cash. Shortly later, we also understand a bit better how the criminal underground and back alleys work, as the character receives a quest to clear an alley of smugglers. On this quest, we learn that there are multiple ways of solving the quests, which is a pleasant change from Warband. We also find out that quests have improved generation, based on what's currently happening out in the world rather than the utter randomness that Warband gave. We also receive a bit more in-depth explanation of the AI, which we have seen briefly in action in past gameplays. The AI will now attempt to gain the upper ground and hold their position if it is advantageous for them to do so. The article then goes on to mention the unit cap, which still is undecided. From past battle footage, I've deduced that they have had 150 on either side, double that of Warband, yet I hope we could possibly see 250 or more on each side one day. Finally, the article continues with the character encountering an outnumbering party and being captured and losing everything, the sad tale that all who play Mount and Blade one day experience. On the last page, there's also a brief showcase of the major factions, with a description of each. The Calradia Empire, a diminished once dominant empire now locked away in a three-way civil war, specializing in armored cataphracts and skilled archers. The Sarai, desert people who farm at oases, springs, and the shores of the Great Southern Lake, specializing in fast-moving medium cavalry with spears. The Flannians, raiders of the empire's western coast, have now established a kingdom on imperial land, specializing in knights equipped with swords and lances. The Battanians, inhabitants of northwestern Calradia, hold up in the mountains after imperial expansion, specializing in forest warfare through the use of longbows. The Sturgians, natives of the northern forests and traders and adventurers from the far north, specializing in infantry fighters in shield wall formation. And finally, the Kuzites, swept out of the eastern steppes and seized a chain of frontier trading city-states for themselves, specializing in horse archers. The article ends with a few more words from the developers, saying that the demo could not showcase all the other new features which are still being worked on, and wrapping up with the quote that I began the video with. PC Gamer concludes with the optimistic statement that, if this extra development time pays off, Bannerlord could well prove to be one of the year's best RPGs. I couldn't have said it better in my own words. Although I'm bursting at the seams wanting to get my hands on Bannerlord, I'm grateful that the developers have remained transparent and avoided promising features that could not be. They want to make this the greatest game they've ever made, just as I and everyone else wants. I think a full release is a sincere possibility this year. Beta is a certainty. I am thoroughly excited. Thank you so much for watching and staying as long as you have. This video was quite a bit longer than my other videos, but that is because there was a lot of information that I wanted to cover as best as I could. Do you like this style of video as well, or do you prefer short and concise 4-minute summaries? What do you think of this info? Are you excited? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, drop a like or leave a comment. If you did not enjoy the video, please let me know why. If you don't do either, I hope every time you play a Mount & Blade game, your fists will be raided and bandits will drink from your skull. Also, consider checking out and subscribing to my friend Roy the Bannerlord, who also makes great Bannerlord videos. Anyways, I hope you have a great day wherever you are in the big massive world we call home.